all around the world. To the beach, y'all.
I'm Jeff. I was born with spina bifida.
My name's Adam, and I was born without my legs.
I was born without growth plates in my femur.
I fell out of a 12-story window.
I was paralyzed from back surgery when I was 8 years old.
The games are fierce.
Watch it now.
We have bodies hitting the floor all over the place. Dump someone on the floor, you feel no sympathy for them.
If I'm not falling down, 5 or 6 times a game, then I'm not working hard enough. If I don't get 3 or 4 fouls, I'm doing something wrong.
You can catch a player on the opposing team riding up on top of your wheel, and then you just give your chair a hard turn, which is within the rules, but if you turn hard enough, you're going to dump them over.
Tell me, do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know what time it is?
Our kids are no different than D. Brown or Luther Head. They've got to get in the gym and they've got to get the shots in to develop good, solid mechanics and the confidence to be able to hit shots.
There's a lot more coordination and technique that goes into it just from the torso up.
If an able-bodied person set up a folding chair at the three-point line, sat in it, kept their back against the back of the chair the whole time, and then shot with just their arms, that's basically how I have to shoot all the time.
People think wheelchair basketball is all lovey-dovey, and it's just something that's out there for disabled people, and it's out there for their enjoyment and to get a little bit of exercise.
When people come up to us and say, oh, it's good to see them get out, that kind of thing, that just infuriates us because we're in there, we're killing ourselves every morning to get better. They don't appreciate the level that we play at.
A lot of people have an image in their mind that's being created by what they've seen in terms of a wheelchair, and then when they see something different, it opens their eyes to the athleticism and the possibilities in those individuals.
They're one of the top programs in the country that doesn't get any recognition. They're not on TV. There's not 16, 17,000 people there. They do it for the true love of the game.
If we don't take the time to educate somebody on why disabled sport is just as desirable as able-bodied sport, there's only a handful of other people outside of our community that'll take up that cause.
We have a really long, proud tradition at U of I, and so we understand that part of the reason why we have what we have today is because somebody came before us and they fought hard and they battled and they worked to remove obstacles that were far more significant than what we have now. Remember our tradition, guys? We add to it. Live strong, die well.
Humans have this amazing ability to adapt to what happens to them, so that's all we've done. Like, we're in wheelchairs, who cares? We'll adapt to that and keep going on and doing the things that we do.
Who are we? MIB! Come on, baby!
What is your name and year in school?
My name's Tim Nagel, and I'm a freshman.
So how does wheelchair basketball differ from regular basketball?
So the main difference in the rules is, first, you can double dribble, but you can't travel, so you can pick up the ball and push twice and then dribble again. But if you push more than twice, then it's a travel. The other big rule change is that each person has a class based on their ability, and so like people with less ability are paralyzed pretty much from the chest down, and people with great lesser disability are like amputees where they have full function of their abs and their back and everything, and so they're classed from 1 to 4 based on their disability, and you can have 14 points on the floor at a time, and so that really makes a different strategy for the game.
Can you briefly explain the differences between your day chair and competition chair?
Yeah, so my day chair is pretty much extremely light, and the wheels are perpendicular, so you can pretty much fit through doors and stuff, any doors you want. But the ball chair is a little different, as in it's a little bit heavier, and it has a bumper in the front, and the wheels are curved, and so the science of it makes you turn faster, and the wheels are usually just designed just more heavy duty and just for speed wise, just thicker and longer. Besides that, there's more padding around the chair.
These are inverses, right?
But yeah, it's mainly, the main difference is just the curved wheels.
In your experience with wheelchair basketball so far, what do you like the most and what do you like the least?
So what I like the most about wheelchair basketball is definitely the competition, and then second is probably the relationships that I've grown throughout the years, the different experiences traveling as a team, just to different locations and stuff. I really like the training aspect of it and getting better and working towards a life goal pretty much. What I like least about wheelchair basketball probably is if you are practicing over and over again and you don't see results, and then the other obvious one is losing. But besides though, I mean, training can get tough, you know, but that's also something I like about it too, so it's just a mix-up.
In terms of accessibility, at the gyms you practice at and play at, and then just around campus in general, what sort of challenges do you run into?
So first of all, the U of I is extremely wheelchair accessible. That's one of the reasons I came here, because it is known for its wheelchair accessibility. But besides that, challenges I've run into, the team bus for traveling on the wheelchair basketball team is extremely packed, and it's not wheelchair accessible for the most part, and so we run into a lot of problems there trying to pack the bus with all our chairs and everything. And I mean, around campus, everything's been great. I mean, sometimes it gets crowded, or sometimes taking the bus is too hard because it's too crowded. And especially in the winter, it's gonna even get more crowded because of the snow. But it's been great besides that.
If you could relay one message to people who don't know about wheelchair basketball, what would it be?
So, I know it's a unique sport, but if I had to relay one message, is that it's no different than any other competitive sport. And you shouldn't feel like sympathy for the players at all. Yeah.
Rise and shine. 6 a.m. and your hand can't make it to the alarm clock before the voices in your head start telling you that it's too early, too dark, and too cold to get out of bed. Aching muscles lie still in rebellion, pretending not to hear your brain commanding them to move. A legion of voices are shouting their unanimous permission for you to hit the snooze button and go back to dreamland. But you didn't ask their opinion. The voice you've chosen to listen to is one of defiance. A voice that says there was a reason you set that alarm in the first place. So sit up, put your feet on the floor, and don't look back, because we've got work to do. Welcome to the grind. For what is each day but a series of conflicts between the right way and the easy way? 10,000 streams fan out like a river delta before you, each one promising the path of least resistance. Thing is, you're headed upstream. And when you make that choice, when you decide to turn your back on what's comfortable and safe and what some would call common sense, well, that's day one. From there, it only gets tougher. So just make sure this is something you want, because the easy way out will always be there, ready to wash you away. All you have to do is pick up your feet. But you aren't going to, are you? With each step comes the decision to take another. You're on your way now, but this is no time to dwell on how far you've come. You're in a fight against an opponent you can't see, but oh, you can feel him on your heels, can't you? Feel him breathing down your neck. You know what that is? That's you. Your fears, your doubts, and insecurities all lined up like a firing squad, ready to shoot you out of the sky. But don't lose heart. While they're not easily defeated, they are far from invincible. Remember, this is the grind, the battle royale between you and your mind, your body, and the devil on your shoulder who's telling you that this is just a game. This is just a waste of time. Your opponents are stronger than you. Drown out the voice of uncertainty with the sound of your own heartbeat. Burn away your self-doubt with a fire lit beneath you. Remember what we're fighting for, and never forget that momentum is a cruel mistress. She can turn on a dime with the smallest mistake. She is ever searching for the weak place in your armor, that one tiny thing you forgot to prepare for. So as long as the devil is hiding the details, the question remains, is that all you got? Are you sure? And when the answer is yes, when you've done all you can to prepare yourself for battle, then it's time to go forth and boldly face your enemy, the enemy within. Only now you must take that fight into the open, into hostile territory. You're a lion in a field of lions, all hunting the same elusive prey with a desperate starvation that says victory is the only thing that can keep you alive.